Okay, we'll go through the program one more time. How we are merging multiple internal tables into a single internal table output. Okay. So this program is more than enough. Like if you are able to understand this program, okay, you can handle any reporting requirement. Okay. If you are able to understand this basic program, you can write report programs on your own. Okay.
Okay.
So as I said earlier, in projects, in programs, we are not going to select data from a single table or from two tables because the business data is distributed across multiple tables. Okay. If you take customer data will be distributed to different tables like customer master data, customer address data, okay, customer transactions data, okay, customer purchase history, etc. Okay. So we have to select data from all these tables and make it as a record, a proper record with required fields, required values, and display it as output. Right? What is a report? What is a report means?
Output report means.
Yeah, in report we display output. But what is report?
To show what we done in the project.
Yeah. Report, it's kind of organized data. Okay. Organized data for specific purpose, I can say. Report is a organized data. Means we are going to organize data in a proper order. Okay. So we are going to collect data from different sources and make it as a report by choosing what are the required values we have to display in the output. We are going to present in a proper format, right? That is the report. So when we are displaying this report, we have to select data from multiple tables. So observe this program. So why we are using these types? Types, begin of, end of. What is this? Type structure, right? This is type structure. So why we are creating this?
For requires particular fields.
I am preparing the output list. I am preparing fields for the output. So what are the fields I want to display as output? Okay. So I'm preparing that list here. Fields might be from different tables. Observe here. Each field is from a different table. So I'm defining internal table and work area with reference to this type structure. Okay. So in interviews, technical team might ask you. So please make a note. Otherwise, I'm recording it. Okay. Anyway, it's your choice. Okay. Uh, they may ask you, how can you define an internal table or work area without using any data dictionary reference? Without using a data dictionary table reference. What is your answer?
Inline declaration.
No. You have to use type structures. Otherwise, what? This is data dictionary reference. So we have defined a
Data.
okay. So we are defining internal table with reference of data dictionary table. Even work area we define with help of forget about inline declarations. Let's discuss about that later. Okay. First, concentrate on internal table and work area declarations. What is this? How we define this internal table and work area? By using data dictionary reference. That is table name. Data dictionary table name. Okay. Clear? But how can you define this internal table or work area without using data dictionary table reference? You can create a local structure in the program using types. You can create a local structure with list of fields in your program by using these types and use this reference to create the internal table and work area. This is how you can create internal tables and work areas, okay, locally in the program without using data dictionary reference. Is it clear? So I'm not talking about selecting required fields from the table using inline declaration. We can do that. When we need to select required fields from the table, we can directly use inline declaration. That is different. But I'm asking you how to define an internal table or work area without using data dictionary reference.
Going a type structure, we can define.
Hmm. So here we are selecting the data. We are not only creating the internal table or work area. We are selecting the data. At the time we are defining the internal table. When you go to inline declarations, our major objective of select statement is selecting the data. As well as using inline declaration, we are defining the internal table there itself. Okay? This is different. But what my question is, how to create internal table or work area without using data dictionary reference.
Right.
By using type structures, you can do that. Okay? It is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now parameters. What is parameter?
Can pass some single input
Pass
into the selections.
other inputs to the selection screen.
Yeah, we can pass single value as input to the selection screen. Okay? So what is the rule that you have to consider at the time of defining a parameter?
We can consider the primary key of the input.
Parameter may not be a primary key. Parameter
No, sir.
is depends on your requirement. If you want to display data by company code, we have taken company code. It is not primary key in EKPO or EKKO. This might be anything which you want to filter the data based on which field you want to filter the data. You can also take uh, customer ID. You can also take material number. You have to know based on what field I have to filter my data. Okay. For example, if you are buying the clothes, if you ask them to uh, show clothes which are in red color, color is the filter criteria there, right? Clear?
Okay.
Or you can ask them to show a particular pattern of clothes. So here the pattern value is the filter. Or you can ask them to show a specific size shirt. Here size is the filter criteria. Depends on your requirement. This will be, you have to define parameter based on what you want to filter the data. right? So go to EKKO table. So how many records we have? 19,027 records we have here. Okay. Now I did not pass any filter condition like filter value. So it is displayed everything. Displayed everything. Now I don't want all the data. I want data for a specific company. Then I'll enter company code. Now it is displaying data for only that specific company code. Now what is the parameter here for this requirement?
Company code means
Company code is the parameter. Now I don't want by company code. I want data by document type. Now I have only one record for this document type. Now I am filtering data by document type so that I can use document type as my parameter.
Parameter.
Or you can also use both company code and the document type. In where condition what you have to write? Where company code equal to p underscore bookers and document type equal to p underscore document type parameter. You can also define multiple parameters here. Using uncondition, you can filter the data. So what is the condition to define this parameter? The parameter name should be less than how many characters?
7.
8 characters. Parameter should not be more than 8 characters. Parameter name should not be more than 8 characters. Okay, you should remember that. Okay, it is exactly 8. If I provide any one value also, a character also,
Not taken.
it will give syntax errors. Okay, now. So the next question is here, since we are in the parameters, they'll ask you how can you populate default values to the selection screen inputs? Now, what is your answer?
Using utilization.
by using selection
Event.
By using
Installation event, we can pass the default values.
values.
okay, Hari, what is your answer?
By using input parameters, we can pass to the selections.
We can pass like that's why we define the parameters to pass the inputs only. But how to display default values in the
By
selection screen
using,
inputs?
by using default option.
That's it.
Calculating values.
So we can display default values in selection screen inputs using default
Default.
option in parameters. That is one way of doing it. Also, we can use installation event to display default values in the selection screen.
Two.
Then they'll ask why we have a separate event initialization. What is the use of it? Since we are able to pass default values and parameters using default statement, why we are using a separate event for that? Then what is your answer?
We cannot pass the calculated values.
So in default statement, we cannot pass the calculated values.
Calculated value.
Like past date or future date, like current days plus 10 days, current date plus 10 days, or current date minus 30 days. Okay, last 30 days date kind of thing, you cannot do it in default statement. For that, you have to use initialization. Or if you want to select data from database table and display it as an input field. You can write select statements also in initialization. You have to say, we cannot provide calculated values in a default statement. We can, by using initialization event, we can pass the calculated values to input fields. Also, we can write select statements in initialization. Okay, that's your answer.
We can pass the installation events.
Hmm?
Installation select option events.
Sorry, what? Select option?
Events are sign, high, low option.
That we'll discuss that later. Okay. We did not discuss about select options, right? We'll discuss that later. Anyway, that is also to populate the default values. Okay. So it is initialization. Okay. Pronounce it properly. It is initialization. Initialization. Okay. Initialization. Okay. Then what is the next event? At selection screen, right? So what is the, how can you validate, the questions you're going to get here is, how can you validate the selection screen inputs? What is the event to validate the selection screen inputs? What is your answer?
By using selection screen option, we can
By
validate
using
the
at selection screen, we can validate the selection screen inputs. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So all the validations we are going to add here in the at selection screen. Okay. In net selection screen, we have few more concepts like, okay, we'll discuss that in the next program. Okay, so let's come to our business logic. Like what we did here, in net selection screen, we are validating the company code, whether it is available in the master data or not. So always remember, you have to write select statement on which table to validate the inputs.
check to
Check table. Okay, find the check table of that value. Find the check table of that value and write select statement on that check table to find whether it is a valid value or not. Okay. Don't select from transactional tables like EKKO, EKPO or VBAK, VBAP. Always select data from a check table to validate the entry. To validate whether it is a accurate value or not. How can you find check table of a particular field?
By using
Go to
relationship.
table, go to entry help check. So what is the check table for company code?
T00.
T001.
So how can you assign check table for a table field?
By using foreign key.
By using
Foreign.
foreign key
Foreign key.
relationship. This is also important question. Observe here, foreign key is added. Like okay. So for BSART, I think it is document type. For that check table is T161. Bookers. What is this?
T00.
Okay. For vendor, where is vendor? Yeah, this is customer. Kunar means customer. KN1 is the customer master data. Okay. See, that's how you can find the check table of any table field. Okay. So what are the different types of messages?
Success,
Okay.
error
Of
message,
course.
And success.
Message failed.
Yes, sir. S for success or status messages. E
Information.
for
Error.
information,
error messages. I
I
I for
Information.
information messages. It will display one pop-up box. In that pop-up box, it will display the information. W, warning message. And A, we have another message type A. A is for abort. We can see runtime exceptions, right? Those will be raised by abort statements. So for now, just remember success message, error message, warning message, and information message. These are familiar, right, for you?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
what is the
sir.
difference between error message and the remaining messages? Information or status. So when the information or status messages are triggered, it won't stop the program execution. But when you raise error message like this, it will stop the program execution at that line. Okay? It won't proceed further.
Transition.
Here, no. Now, from how like how many tables we are merging here? We are selecting data from EKKO by company code. All the purchase order records created by for this company code. So we are going to write select statement on EKKO. And then what we are doing? So we got some data, right? We got some data for this particular company code from the EKKO table. And then what we are doing? From EKKO, what is the data I have to select?
Required fields.
Required fields, that's okay. But what is the data I want to select? What is the filter criteria?
Common.
So I have to select item records
Common.
for this company code. So I have to select item data. Okay. Purchase order item data for this company code. So I've already selected, right? Purchase order header records here
Yes, sir.
for this company code. Now I need to select the item records for this header records. Only these header records, which I've already selected into an internal table. I don't want all header records, but I want all the item records for the entries in header table, IT underscore EKKO internal table. So whatever the header records we have in this IT underscore EKKO, I'm selecting corresponding item data. I'm not selecting all item data, but the records which are in IT underscore EKKO, I'm selecting all the corresponding item data, like matching records, right? Is it clear?
టెక్నాలజీ అర్థం కాలేదండి ఒకసారి అంటే
Simple. We have some records, right, in IT underscore EKKO.
ఎస్
So what is the key here? Purchase order number, right? EBLN.
ఎస్
So now I have already some records. Now I want to select next level data of that records. That is item records.
ఐటమ్
For that, what is my input? Header data.
డేట్
I'm selecting item records for these particular records, header data records. Not for the all header data records, only for this. Okay, I have already a 10 or 20 header records in my internal table. Now what I am saying in the next statement? So I'm asking the select statement, please select item records. Okay, for this header records in the internal table. I don't want all the item records, but only for these header records in this internal table, which are matching with the item records EBLN. Is it clear?
రికార్డ్స్ అయినా అనొచ్చా లేకపోతే సెలక్షన్స్ అయినా అనొచ్చు
Records, we are selecting records here.
ఓకే
We are selecting data or records. Okay. Is it clear or confusing?
క్లియర్
Okay. Okay. At price, quantity, whatever the fields. Okay. Now we have a PO. Company code 100. Some customer. CEO. Some at 100. That is the material code. 10,000 is the price. D. Right. Now, this is the purchase order header data, right?
Yes.
EKKO. Sorry. This is EKPO data, that is item, right? This item data and header data. Now, what is the relationship between both? Like, what is the common field here?
EBL,
EB.
purchase the document, EBL.
Okay. So, the data which is in header data, like now, how I am selecting using for all entries? If I apply for all entries, what I am saying here? So, I have some header data 401 and 402 in my internal table. Now, from header table EKPO, please select only EBLM values 401 and 402, which are available in internal table. So what are all the header records in EKKO? Please select item data for those header records. What is the condition here? Where EBLN equal to header record EBLN. Whatever the purchase document numbers, same as purchase document numbers in header table, please select all those purchase document numbers from item table. Right? This clear?
Yes.
You apply for all entries only for purchase document numbers which are available in header data internal table will be selected here. Not all the header data, item data records. Only corresponding records. Here we might have 10,000 purchase document numbers. So when we apply for all entries, so we are going to select purchase order item data for all those 10,000 entries in header data. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So in the next level, I want to select material text for all the materials available in EKPO table. I want to select material text which are available in EKPO table. How many materials we have here?
Two material.
Two materials. Material 100 and material 200. Now, I want to select material text for only these two materials from MAKT table. So in MAKT table, how many materials we can find in general? We have a lot of materials, right? But here in my header data, EKPO data, I have only two materials. I want to select data for only those two materials. I don't want material text for all the materials. What is the technical name for material number?
Mat.
Matter.
Matrix. Flash.
Now into this material text internal table, what are the records I have selected? For only records, for only values available in EKPO, right? So the common records, common values of EKPO, material and MAKT table, right? Am I, what, like by using what is the statement I am doing this? I'm using for all entries to do that. For all entries in EKKO, for all the records in EKKO, please select data from EKPO for all the records in EKKO table. Okay. So what is the comparison value? I'm saying that, okay, select item data for all the records in EKKO internal table. But based on what field?
Common.
How? By using
Common.
common field, that is EBLN. So where
EBLN.
header data EBLN equal to item data EBLN, select all those records from EKPO table. For that I am using for all entries. Next level what I am doing? Okay, I have some purchase order item data. In that I have material numbers, right? The next level I want to select material text for all those material numbers. How can I do that? For all entries in EKPO now. Select